Good morning, children. Today we are going to see the question and answers for lesson number 3. What is our lesson number 3? It is log on to MS Excel 2007. We'll go to the question answers one by one. First one is write a note on MS Excel. First point is MS Excel is the most popular spreadsheet software. It is a part of the Microsoft Office suite. It is a powerful tool. It helps to organize, calculate, and analyze data in rows and columns. It allows to represent data in the form of charts. We already know what is our MS Excel. We saw there are rows and columns. We call that as a spreadsheet, and it is a part of a Microsoft Office suite, and it is a powerful tool to organize, calculate, and analyze data. And we can use charts also to represent data. These were all the main features of our MS Excel. Yes, coming to the second question. What are the main features of the MS Excel? The first or the primary main feature is it has functions and formulas. We can create our own formulas, or we can use the already existing formulas and the functions. Then the formatting features. Then the auto calculation, where we have auto sum and autofill. All these are the two main features. And then fast searching and instant replacing. Then we have the autofill option. Then we have the charts. Then there are advanced features for professionals. There is a software called Tally, where the accountant people will use that for creating the balance sheets and other important uh, things. So the main features of MS Excel are functions and formulas, the formatting features, the auto calculation, then it has fast searching and instant replacing. Then we have the autofill option, we have the charts and the advanced features, especially for different professionals. Then what is a workbook? Each file in MS Excel is known as workbook. Okay, each file. Now, this workbook is assigned a temporary name. Initially, we can rename it according to our use. You can name as whatever you want to, but initially, when you create it, it will be given a name book 1. Then it will have 3 worksheets by default. It will have 3 worksheets by default. So what is a workbook? It is a file in MS Excel. Then it is assigned a temporary name called book 1, and each workbook will have 3 worksheets by default. Then you can create any number of worksheets for our own usage. Okay, now what is a worksheet? Worksheet, each sheet in a workbook. It is like each page in a notebook. Okay, then it consists of rows and columns. Columns are represented by alphabets on the top, and rows are represented by numbers on the left. Yes, columns are represented by alphabets, whereas rows are represented by numbers, and columns names are on the top, whereas the row headings are on the side. Yes, so what is a worksheet? Each sheet in a workbook. Each sheet in a workbook is known as a worksheet. Then it consists of rows and columns. The rows are numbered as rows are numbered on the left, whereas columns are represented by alphabets on the top. Now, what is a cell? A cell is the intersection of a row and column. It is the intersection. What is intersection? Meeting point of a column and a row. Then each cell has a cell address. Yes, it has a cell address. Example A5. Now it will represent we are in the fifth row of column A. We are in the fifth row, that is the intersection of column A with the fifth row will give you my cell address as A5. Then each cell can contain up to 32,767 characters. The length of the cell or the cell can contain up to 32,767 characters. Okay, so what is a cell? A cell is the intersection of a column and a row. Each cell is denoted with a cell address. Example, you have A5. A5 means it is the intersection of column A with row 5. A cell can contain up to 32,767 characters. Now, what is an active cell? There are so many cells, but what is the difference between the active cell and the other cells? Because it is differentiated with a thick black border. Yes, it will be having a thick black border. We can the it will tell you have to write or you can enter into that particular cell. We are in that position, you can enter into that particular cell, and we can edit only an active cell. If you want to edit any cell, you have to move to that particular cell, so that make that cell active and then you can edit. You cannot simply edit. Whichever cell you want to edit, you have to go to that cell. That is, we have to move according to that, either through the movement keys or through the mouse movement, anything. We have to go to that particular cell and then only edit it. Make that particular cell active and then edit it. So what is an active cell? It is a cell which is differentiated from other cells. It has a thick black border. It indicates the current cell is active, which indicates the thick black border indicates the current cell is active. We can edit only an active cell because then only we will know which cell we are changing. Okay, so the active cell is a cell which has thick black border, indicates the current cell is active, and we can edit only an active cell. Now, what is a cell pointer? The highlighted box is the cell pointer. The highlighted box is the cell pointer. Data will be entered only in the highlighted box. By default, the text is aligned to the left and the numbers are aligned to the right. Okay, the highlighted box is the cell pointer. Cell pointer means what? The active cell, the pointer which points to that active cell. So within that active cell only we can edit. So that is why this is cell pointer comes in. We saw what is an active cell. So within the active cell we can enter the data. Okay, so how is the data entered? If you are entering a text, it will be always left aligned. If you are entering a number, it will be always right aligned. So what is a cell pointer? The highlighted box is the cell pointer, and then we can enter data only on the highlighted box. So by default, the text is aligned to the left and the numbers are aligned to the right. Okay, now what is the name box? Name box is located above the column heading. Okay, it is located above the column heading. It is adjacent to the formula tab. It is adjacent to the formula box. So you will have a name box. What will be there on the name box? It is like a label on your notebook. What will be there on it? You will be writing your name, your class, your section, your subject. Similarly, this name box will display the location of the cell pointer. Where is the cell pointer now pointing, or which cell are we now in? See, initially we'll be starting from the first cell, that is A1, the first row, first column. Then after doing our work, or after doing so many calculations or doing whatever we want, we will be in some location. Okay, then we might close the workbook, then we will be again opening it. In that case, we have to know where are we, which cell is our pointer is now pointing. So if you look at the name box, it will give you the location of the cell pointer. Okay, so the name box is located above the column heading. It displays the name of the, or the location of the cell pointer, because each cell will have an address. So the address means the intersection of the column and the row. Suppose your cell pointer is at N10. That means in the nth column, 10th row, the cell pointer is pointing, or that is the active location. If you write anything, if you type anything, only that will be written in, that things will be written only in N10, because your cell pointer is active to that point. Now write a note on column headings and row headings. What is a column heading? It is the top border of the worksheet. It is the top border of the worksheet. It is the top border of the worksheet. It starts from letters A to Z, then AA to AZ. Okay, there are total of 16,384 columns. We can have up to 16,384. What are the row headings? Row headings are marked along the left border of the worksheet. And how many total number of rows are there? You have 1,048,576 rows. So what are the column headings and row headings? Column headings, it is represented with the alphabets on the top of the worksheet, whereas row headings are marked along the left side border. Okay, then what are the movement keys? We know the some movement keys. What are the movement keys and what are their functions? If the arrow is pointed to your right, it means you are going to move one column right. If the arrow is pointed to your left, it means we are going to move one column left. If it is pointing upward, you move one row up. If it is pointing down, you will move one row down. And there is page up, page down keys also. So we'll use that to move one screen up and page down, one screen down. And then Control plus Home will go to the first cell of the topmost row, and Control plus N will move to the last used cell, not the last cell of the spreadsheet, only the last used cell of the spreadsheet. So these are the movement keys. What are the movement keys? We know now. We know the 4 arrow keys, one page up, one page down, and one Control plus Home and Control plus End. You should know what are the functions for this. This can be asked in Match the Following also. What is the use of the merge and center button? Merge, what is the meaning of the English word merge? Merge means simply joining. Okay, merge means just joining together. Center, you know, that is, it should be placed in the center. It should not be left aligned, it should not move to the left position, or it should not be right aligned, that is it should not go to the right side, it should be in the middle. So that is why this merge and center, that is we are going to merge some cells, say 4 or 5 cells. If I merge 5 cells, take 1 2 3 4 5. Now what is my middle cell? Middle cell will be my third cell. Now I will be merging all these cells and I will be aligning such that all the content will come to the third cell. So that will come as merge, and you are centering. That means I am placing the contents in the center alignment. So merge and center button, you have a button. It is used to merge the contents and align the contents at the center. It is a button placed near the edit tab. You have the on the tab itself you have the button for merge and center. Yes, it is used to merge the contents and to align the contents at the center. Now coming to the next question, what is our formula? Formula means what we are going to perform calculations. Okay, for that calculations, each time we need not create a formula. Once you create a formula and you save that as an equation, we can use that every time for our further calculations. So that is termed as formula, and each formula should begin with a equal to sign. Each formula should begin with a equal to sign. So the formula will consist of cell references, numbers, operators and functions. So cell references means your cell address, numbers, if at all we have the numbers in to use in our formula, operators, all our arithmetic operators like plus sign, minus sign, multiplication sign, and what are the functions, the minimum function, the maximum function, anything like that. So what is a formula? The equations that perform calculations, or the perform calculations on the values given, and it should begin with an equal to sign. Then the formulas will consist of cell references, numbers, operators and functions. Take the example I have given, B3 plus C3 plus D3. That means it will be adding we can see from the symbol plus. So it will be adding the contents of B3 cell with that of C3 cell plus that of D3 cell.